What may come as no surprise to anyone, Onward is expected to have one of the worst opening weekends in the box office for any Pixar film yet. And like I said, not really a big surprise, especially after all the nonsense that has been announced with this film in regards to the alphabet character, the Cyclops thing, I guess, that's in the movie. And of course, 1 million moms, because of that, taken action against this movie with almost 25,000 signatures. That's a lot of people and a lot of families that aren't going to be going to see this movie because of the inclusion of this character right here. So, which I don't understand why they made this character be like such an ugly character. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what they're trying to say there. Like, I don't know what the point of that is. It's kind of weird. But yeah, so 1 million moms definitely took a pretty heavy boycott towards this film, with almost 25,000 people refusing not to go see the movie. And of course, most of those people also have families as well. So there's also that has to be accounted for in regards to why this movie is not having a very strong opening weekend. So considering how much grief Universal and Illumination took when The Secret Life of Pets 2 only opened with 47 million last summer, it's not great at all that a new Pixar movie, Pixar, which used to be the king of animated films, which not really so much anymore, but it definitely used to hold that spot. The new Pixar movie to be opening with just 40 million in its domestic debut. That's the likely scenario with a 12 million Friday, including 2 million in Thursday previews. That's just barely above the 39 million Friday-Sunday launch of The Good Dinosaur during a 55 million Wednesday to Sunday Thanksgiving launch in 2015. By the way, the last original Pixar movie that they released, Coco, made about 50 million in its opening weekend, so it's definitely not going to be doing as well as Coco did in its opening weekend either. So that's kind of a big hit towards it as well. And honestly, like, I don't think that the boycott is the only reason why Onward is not going to be having a very strong opening weekend. I think that there's other things that can attribute to that as well. I don't think that this movie really had the hype around it as a lot of other Pixar movies have had. So I think that probably played into it as well. But definitely this is going to be one of the weaker films when it comes to the Pixar movies. And obviously the inclusion of this character right here has to have at least something to do with that, because there's going to be 25,000 people that are refusing to go see this movie. So yeah, I think especially in the long haul, I think that this movie is not going to be doing very well from a financial standpoint. So I don't know the exact budget for the gorgeously animated comic adventure, but I'm guessing it wasn't cheap. So that's talking about, I don't know, is that talking about Cars? While there is a case to be made that I'd be singing a slightly more upbeat tune if this were a 150 million DreamWorks tune, since those are almost always super leggy come rain or shine, nonetheless, even a 3.5 times multiplier would give this one just 140 million, and I wouldn't be too thrilled if a 150 million plus DWA flick opened with around 40 million either. Exactly. So the fact that this is supposed to be a big movie, you know, a big Pixar movie, and it's not doing very well, definitely speaks volumes. So while Onward is a good movie with a very strong third act, I don't quite see it capturing the zeitgeist like the first DWA How to Train Your Dragon epic 10 years ago. For one thing, it opened after the Disney Megabucks, so basically it's just kind of going to why this movie is probably not going to be doing very well. Of course, not really talking about the inclusion of a very, very controversial character like this. So, I don't know. Like, I think this is just another sign that Disney is not going to be having a very good year this year. I think that Disney is going to be suffering quite a bit in 2020 as far as the box office goes. There are some movies that are projected to do very well, like Black Widow, but I think for the most part, I think that this year is going to be pretty weak for Disney as far as the box office goes, and I think that Onward is definitely going to be one of those films that, in the grand scheme of its run in the box office, is probably not going to be having a very good run. So there you go. There is your information about how it's doing so far in the opening weekend. I will definitely keep you guys updated on this and how it's doing, and when we get the total of what it's going to be making for its opening weekend, I will let you guys know about that as well. So if you are new around here, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate that. Then you can keep up on all of the information in regards to this film, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
With my heart's desire.